I ain't sleep today, but I'ma be okay.
Okay, so first of all, this is sick. That's pretty sick. So, in issue 14, it kind of starts out on the first page, gives you like a recap of everything. So, Alfred, who is like in this comic, it's Batman's like right-hand man. They're kind of like going over the plan. So they're talking about like, hey, like you're gonna use your 2 injections. So Bruce Wayne, Batman, was taken into Arkham, which basically they like did a bunch of like tests on like humans, and they are trying to like recreate him into Bane. Bane, of course, is this guy here on the cover. So they're like going over everything. They're like, you're only going to use like 2 of the Venom infusions. And then he's talking to like all his old buddies, kind of going over everything. They're all like kind of like mad at him. Catwoman's like, take care of yourself, Wayne. And then at the end, it's pretty cool. He says, let's go to war, or effing war, whatever it is. It's kind of cool. But yeah, this is sick. So the way this all like starts out is they're like talking about on the news about how Batman and Bane are gonna kind of like go at it. They're gonna go at this like brawl, which is funny because it starts to tie in Batman's old buddy Croc, who turned into Killer Croc. That's him right there. Croc Jones. That's what he goes by. Was a boxer. And so he was scheduled to fight Bibbo Babowski, that's a mouthful, in a boxing match. And it was rigged to where Croc would lose in like the 6th round, but he would like make money. They would like place a bet on it and like all that stuff. But Bruce did not want to do that. Or like at least tell him like, hey, like I don't think you can win, like all this stuff. But so they're kind of going over everything, and they're kind of like hand in hand, like talking about like, okay, Croc's pulling up, Bane's pulling up, Batman's pulling up. Like it's like kind of going through the same premise, which is sick because it's talking about like friendship and like telling a similar story at the same time with 2 different events going on. So you can kind of see that here. They're like, Batman like has this whole plan, and then so this art is sick, but it's also tying it in with the boxing match. So like Croc was doing a really good job at the beginning. He was kicking butt, and while that's happening, like they're doing the flashback, it also is showing what's going on in the present. Batman is like destroying Bane, like there's a clip of him like he like runs his Batmobile over him and then like cuts out his eye. It's crazy. And then Bane's like eye reattaches because his venom can make him like regenerate health. It's crazy. And then Alfred keeps telling Batman like, save your venom, because the venom would like create him like Bane, where he's like can regenerate. He becomes like strong, indestructible to an extent. But Batman started to like do really bad, like was getting like hurt, and so he calls out Croc because this is when Alfred was like, save it, and then he started getting like beat down. He's like, all right, use it, like you have 2 of them, use it. And basically Bruce Wayne was like, nah man, like I'm gonna pull out my homie. And so he brings out Croc. That's Croc right there. That's Bane. And then Croc starts doing some freaking damage on this guy. While this is going on, Batman's like cutting him up. And Bane's like, you guys are just like fleas compared to me. And then it flashes back to the boxing match of Croc. Croc is starting to get his butt handed to him. Kind of symbolizing like what's going on right now. Because Croc's getting beat up. Batman was getting beat up. Like there was just a lot going on. Like you can see here, like at the one of the mob guys who like they like kind of had a bet with. He's like, this is it. Your boy goes down next round. Kind of like what's going on right now with like Croc and Bane. Kind of like 2 and 2 are going together. It's pretty cool. And then this is pretty cool. Power of Friendship. There's a strip of Bane, like a comic strip of Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne coming in like to like save the day, because in the beginning I forgot to mention this. The announcer was like, in Croc's corner, there's nobody. He's a lone man. Like, there's nobody with him. And so Bruce was like, get out of my way. Like, I'm gonna help out my buddy. So that happens. That's in like the first strip right here. And then look at this. So that's Croc, that's Bane, and then Batman's coming freaking flying in with like an axe. It's pretty cool. And then he cuts down his spine right here. I don't know if you can see it. Cuts down his spine. So that's where, like, you can see here, all of like Bane's like venom runs through. It goes through his spinal cord. And then Croc is like really like hurt, and so Batman's like, it's all right, like, thank you, Croc, like, you can go now. Because Batman's basically like, I got this, bro. Look at this picture. That's sick. That's so cool. So cool. So, we're getting towards the end now. Batman's, like, kind of doing his thing, like, ripping him up to shreds. And then Bane is, like, on a new level or something. Dude, like, regenerates. And the doctor at Arkham is like, Bane, like, I didn't even know your, like, system was, like, capable of this. Like, you're developing, like, unlocking a new, like, thing. And so Bane is, like, destroying Batman now. Because Batman cut his spinal cord, and he was like, you can't, like, your lower limbs are, like, unable to, like, to work now because I've cut through your thoracic spine. And, Nope, Bane regenerates, and he gets up and starts destroying Batman. And he's like, you think you're better than me? And while that's going on, you can kind of see here, so he's beating him down. While that's going down, you can see in this little clip right here, Croc is getting his butt handed to him too by that Bibbo guy, or whatever his name is. Because that's like supposed to when he's supposed to go down. So it's like both of the things are going hand in hand. Like showing like that, like they're probably gonna like fail. Yeah, you can see here he's getting smashed. Okay, so Jones is like in a chokehold right now, and then over like the announcers, like Jones is searching for some last like minute strength, and then you hear, and Batman's like goes to like Batman's right here. It goes straight to Batman here, and it's like, do it, kid, like, use the venom. So I know you probably know like the premise of Batman, but like Batman does everything by the book. He doesn't kill, he doesn't hurt people. And in this comic specifically, like, he will be so precise with his like cuts, movements, axes, stabs, all this stuff. He will be so accurate where he doesn't like actually injure anybody. He'll just like leave a mark or something like that. So like that's just how he is. So like when Alfred is like, use the venom, use the venom, use the venom, like it's our only chance of like you surviving. And Bane is like telling him like, use it, like I dare you, like use it. Because Bane wants Batman to take over his role. Bane basically wants to retire so he can live his life and go back home and all this stuff. And then he goes, I'll use it, fine, all right, I'll use it. And then he yells, Catwoman. I think Catwoman comes out guns blazing. I thought this was cool. Just letting it rip with a gun. Starts shooting Bane. So it's like a distraction almost. Because I think it's a bunch of like darts or something. I don't know. And then he's like, wait, stop. And Batman's like, no. And then you can see he like throws his axe, and then it explodes in his spine, and he just like gets ripped to shreds. It's freaking crazy. And then like, so basically he's done. Goes to this. Look at this. Look at this. 2 days ago. So it's basically saying like, so how much of this stuff do you want me to take out? And he's like, all of it. I don't want any of it. Like, take all this venom out. I want 0 piece of it, like in my body. And then pay attention to that part right here. That's Catwoman, like taking it all up in a syringe. But he's like, get this stuff out of me. Like, that's just what I mean. Like, he's very much by the book, like wants to do things his way, the moral way. I thought this was like a life lesson or whatever you want to say. The thing all kings and generals, this is like Alfred talking, by the way, talking about Batman. He says, the thing all kings and generals and masters of war always fail to take into account that for some soldiers, winning isn't the point. Because there is a fight that's bigger than any war. It's old as time and immediate as a baby's scream, and there's no end to it. Ever. Not really. It's about doing what's right, no more, no less. So, for someone like Batman, he's not fighting to win, he's fighting to fight. The fight is the point. For home, for the people he loves. I thought that was cool. But, in the end, like, all of his buddies are like, you see that? Like, Batman, like, took down, Bane. But, Catwoman, Selina, is, like, flying, like, to leave. And look, she has the vial. What's she gonna do with the vial? That's crazy. And then it goes to a clip of like Bane. Bane's still alive. Like what? That's Bane. He like exploded basically, and then they like dumped his body into like a river. But yeah, it's pretty crazy. I hope this, like, I don't know. Basically, what I got from it all was I thought it was so cool that they tied in like Croc's backstory with what was going on, and then just tied the two in together. And then it's like, what is Selina doing with that like vial of venom? But you could also be like, I could have expected that. Same thing with like Batman, like getting the venom extracted. It's just cool. But yeah, I hope you like this. I love you. I hope you have a great rest of your night.